What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/PettyRevenge. This story's called Steal My Wallet? Enjoy getting caught literally red-handed and losing your job. I work at a supermarket, and for a while, a few years back, stuff would get stolen out of people's bags in the break room. It was mostly cash, phone chargers, headphones, little things like that. We did have little lockers in the break room, but they're maybe 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters, or 1 foot by 1 foot, and too small to hold anything larger than a medium-sized purse, so if someone had a larger bag or even a large puffy jacket, it wouldn't fit. I usually carry a messenger bag big enough to fit a notebook and sketchbook in. I like to draw or write while on break, which was too big to stick in one of the lockers without having it get stuck, and I usually stashed it under a coat rack. I hardly ever keep money or anything more valuable than a mechanical pencil in my bag while at work. I keep any money or my debit card on me at all times, except for one particular day. Before work one particular Sunday, I had to go buy a new television since mine had suddenly stopped working the night before. I must have forgotten to take my wallet out of my bag before heading to work because the following day, I discovered it was missing. However, whoever took it only took the wallet because my debit card, college ID, and my MBTA, or Boston Subway System fare card, had been thrown in my bag. The wallet in question was a small Coach brand wallet, so I can see why they took it, but I only spent about $14 on it since I got it at a Coach outlet store, so it wasn't like I spent a lot on it. As annoying as it was to have my television die in the middle of playing an online video game, thankfully on the Switch so I could at least finish the match I was in, because I had to buy a new television, I had spent the $150 cash that I had been keeping in my wallet up until that point. After meeting with the management and our loss prevention guy, the consensus was basically, "We're sorry that happened to you, but there's nothing we can do about it. Keep your stuff locked up from now on," which I did. I started locking my bag to the coat rack with a bike lock. The market I work at is union, so management isn't allowed to put cameras in the break room. So I talked to our loss prevention guy about it a little bit more and asked him if I would get in trouble if I were to put a prank wallet filled with glitter and powdered food coloring in my bag, and he said, "Not at all." I also went to the union steward about it, and he also said I wouldn't get in trouble, but also told me to be careful. So I put my plan into motion. I bought a fake Coach wallet that cost more than the one that had been stolen, go figure. Some edible glitter and powdered red food coloring. I sewed a strip of elastic into the opening of the wallet had a zippered pocket for money and cards, then stuffed it with as much of the glitter and food coloring powder as I could so that when the wallet was opened, all the glitter and food coloring would pop out all over the hands of the person who opened it. I then planted it in my bag and waited. I didn't have to wait very long. A few weeks later, I heard from our loss prevention guy that a cashier had been going through people's bags again and fell for my glitter bomb wallet hook, line, and sinker. Tried to then wash the glitter off her hands, which activated the powdered red food coloring. She then freaked out when it stained her hands bright red and went to management about it. She wanted the person who planted the wallet to get in trouble for it, but since it had been with another worker's belongings and the wallet wasn't harmful or illegal, there was nothing they could do to the worker who did it. The girl ended up getting fired for openly admitting to going through other people's bags for money and other valuables, and ended up throwing 2 other cashiers under the bus for stealing from people as well. They were fired shortly after. I did get spoken to by management after the fact, since they knew I had planted the wallet in my bag, but the discussion was more or less, "We know the wallet was yours. We didn't tell the person who tried taking it that it was yours, and we're not gonna tell you that you can't do that again." Ha ha! Badass. I love, loophole justice, kinda. You get what I'm saying. Like in TV shows or something where a cop or someone in charge, moves stuff around to make out a deal with a person who's, ratting on other people. But then again, that's also a bad thing, depending on the perspective of the show. Alright, this story's called Pink Karen on Skis Tries to Intentionally Cause an Accident and Goes Insane, so I make her lose part of her equipment. Translated, so sorry if some things sound slightly off. Also on mobile, my apologies for formatted, slightly edited, cross-post from r/entitled parents. This happened roughly 2 years ago. Background info. I grew up in the mountains. Was 4 years old when I first attempted skiing. At 11, I started snowboarding. I love both of those sports and have spent a lot of time practicing. I'm not really telling you this to brag, but I feel like I should clarify that I know exactly what I'm doing, even though I do go fast. It all happened on a beautiful sunny morning. It had snowed the night before, roughly 60 centimeters, 25 inches, fresh snow, amazing powdery snow. Naturally, I got up early with 2 friends to go off-piste. All 3 of us were on snowboards. Ski lifts were already running, so there were some people on the slopes. We went off-piste a few times with no issues whatsoever, but of course, we had to get back to the slope system at some point to reach the station at the bottom of the lift to go back up again. This is where I encountered the Karen. We were still in the deep snow. The slope we wanted to get on was long, flat, and rather narrow. Due to the fresh snow and also a height difference that always is there, we had to jump down roughly 1.5 meters or 60 inches to get on the piste. No big deal, especially because the snow was so soft that even if I fell, I likely wouldn't get hurt. My friends went first, jumped down and crossed the piste to go off-piste again to take a faster and steeper way to the lift. I waited until both of them were already in the deep snow to make sure I wouldn't hurt them if anything went wrong. Then I checked if anybody else was near, and after seeing I had more than enough space, I jumped, and then I heard a scream. I thought an accident had happened. I'm a goofy, right foot in front, so I was able to see downhill where no accident had happened. I know my 2 male friends off-piste couldn't have screamed so high-pitched. Therefore, I did a sharp turn, also slowing down a lot, allowing me to look uphill to see if someone needed help. Instead of an accident, I saw a woman in a pink onesie yelling like a banshee and skiing towards me really fast. You know how some people go way faster than they can handle? She was obviously one of them. She held her sticks so that they were almost parallel to the ground. She had her legs really far apart, which I guess helped her as her ski wiggled so hard they would have hit each other and made her fall if she had her legs like any normal person on a ski. I was a bit amazed at her not having fallen yet and very confused at what was even happening. After I had gotten over the initial shock of a manic Teletubby attacking me, I figured she was going to hit me if I didn't get out of her way fast. However, I had slowed down because of the scream and my front leg was facing a wall of snow. The only thing I could think of was making a small jump to gain speed and get my front foot downhill to make another turn and save myself in the deep snow. I was almost at the edge of the deep snow when I noticed she had changed her direction so that she would have hit me if I had still tried to go down there. I stopped as hard as I could. She still fell for some reason, even though definitely I didn't hit her. I just covered her in a fair amount of snow, because that's what happens when you brake hard in powdery snow. I also ended up sitting on my buttocks because I had put a lot of force in stopping, and because I attempted to duck while braking because I saw her stick almost hitting me, it still hit my head. But luckily I was wearing a helmet, so not much damage done. After that, I just sat there because, you know, I was a bit shocked. The Karen was laying a few meters down the piste and was still yelling, but I still heard my friend calling for me, asking if I was okay. I told him I was, but had to handle something real quick. One of the advantages of being a snowboard is that you can get up immediately after you fell, unless you are injured, obviously. With skis, it's different. Once you fall, you are tangled between ski sticks, and limbs. Yeah, falling in skis is like, ooh, I don't know, man. Like, you can just, it's so easy to twist your legs and ankles and impale yourself on a stick. For some reason, both skis of the Karen were still on her feet. A bad idea for someone who was obviously a beginner. Thinking she had just lost control and didn't have any bad intentions, I went to help and check on her. As I was approaching her, she hit me with her stick. Luckily, it just went against my boot, so it didn't hurt, but I definitely didn't want to get near her after that. I didn't just want to leave either, just in case she was injured, so I awkwardly kneeled in a safe distance waiting for her to get up. Some of you may have noticed that her kid hasn't made an appearance yet. That's because the kid was much more sane than his mother. He just drove as fast as he could while still being in control, which is great. I wish more people were like that. However, he then slowly approached me and his mother, crying because she had left him alone. The Karen, who at this point had sorted her limbs to a point of sitting normally, the way you do when you get up after a fall, yelled at him to shut up, which of course made him cry even more. Then the following dialogue ensued, with the poor kid kid constantly crying in the background.
It's all because of you! You almost killed my son!
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
You are freaking insane! You just jumped from there, and you almost jumped on my son!
You were all the way up there. If I hadn't stopped because of your scream, I wouldn't even be on the piste anymore.
No, it's all your fault, you freaking snowboarder! You snowboarders are awful! So ruthless, it's like you don't even have souls anymore! How'd you get those fancy snowboards? How did you sell your souls to Satan? Because that's what it seems like. You are so mean and heartless. I cannot believe people like you aren't even allowed on this freaking ski resort. I pay good money here, and little freaking poopy head over there, my son, is really scared, and it's all your fault, snowboarder.
Yeah, whatever. I'll leave you alone then.
No, you stay here, intellectually disabled N-word whore.
Hard R, and I'm Caucasian. No, you're incredibly rude, and I don't—
Shut the hell up and give me a ski pass. You don't deserve it. Give it to my son.
I decide this is pointless and get up to go to my friends by going down the piste a few meters to gain speed, then going off in the deep snow. However, that didn't quite work. I was barely up as I feel something hitting my side, causing me to fall, mainly from shock, I guess. Turns out, she had thrown her stick at me. What the hell? She continues to scream about me having to give her my pass. Fortunately, I was finally at the edge of the piste, so I just crawled the last meter, turned so my board was in the deep snow, and rode off. It was pretty steep where I went down, so I knew she couldn't follow me. And the best part, I didn't feel like returning the stick she threw at me, so I just took it with me for a few meters and then left it in the middle of the mountainside. The stick was still there several days later. My man! I used to go skiing all the time when I was a little kid at Monarch. It was really fun. I've witnessed some really funny accidents. I'm sure some of you guys have heard that one story. Anyway, OP, this is what you get for trying to be a good Samaritan. So, lesson learned, be a mean person. That's how you'll succeed. This story's called Lost $20 Just to Spite an Idiot Buyer. Petty as this sub, not my language, not sorry, first time post, lurker. This guy's speaking my language. I was trying to sell an uncommon retro game online for a while, and last Friday, one annoying customer started pestering me to get the price down. It was a loose, scuffed game, kinda niche, but the cheapest of the two posted on the website. I was asking for $25 plus shipping. The dude tried to put down the price, bad-mouthing everything about my item. That he is a collector, yada yada, no box, if I could do installments and free shipping. As a wannabe seller, I took my time trying to explain things till I just could not handle anymore. I sent him the link of another seller who had a new boxed game just a little more expensive but free shipping and accepted installments, because it would be better for a collector like him. And the guy still had to badmouth me before Skip to piss off the other seller. I doubled my price to get the stupid away, but a good customer who I gave a $5 discount to asked for my original offer. Good customer bought on Wednesday, yesterday. Out of curiosity, I started to follow the interaction of the other seller with the bad customer. Buyer was still an idiot, but they worked out to finish the transaction on another website, who asks for less commission and if you have a coupon, like me, free shipping. The other seller posted over there on Sunday, and I found out immediately. The bad buyer just ghosted. But over there, you can't follow other people's interactions. As soon as my good customer bought my game, I went to the other website and bought the same, new, boxed with free shipping in 2 installments. The new item would cost me $65 US. Bought it for $40 US, got bad customers haggle and free shipping. Sold my old item for $20, it would cost the bad customer my item about $30. The other seller, fast as fudge, shipped his item, probably to not deal with bad customers today. When the new game arrives, I will post back on the first website for $70 plus shipping. It will be the only one, plus new and boxed. No haggle allowed. I'm not really interested in selling, just want to spite the other guy. Nice. I wonder what game it was. Is it a retro game? And if it is, for what system? Man, you gotta give these details, dog. I love retro games. Metal Jesus rocks if you like retro gaming. gaming. Check him out, Modern Vintage Gamer. He's more techie oriented and technology stuff, but still video games nonetheless. 2 channels you gotta check out. This story's called If a 5-Year-Old Needs to Pee, He Will. This is an old one, but I still love 5-year-old me for doing it. It was 1985. I was a quiet, shy 5-year-old boy living in the UK. It was break time at my small school. All us children were outside in the yard. I wanted to go to the toilet. I approached the on-duty teacher and asked on-duty. I approached the on-duty teacher and asked if I could use the toilets. She said no. For some reason, I like to think my evil streak had started to kick in. I climbed the perimeter wall, stood triumphantly looking down on her, pulled down my trousers, and let go. I still remember the look of shock on her face, now along with pee. I also remember my punishment being locked in a toilet cubicle for the rest of the day. Did you pee on her? I'm confused as to what. Did you pee near her or on her? Because I don't know.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.